If you haven't noticed, by the red seat belts and these awesome seats, I'm sitting inside my 2019 STi. Has 257 miles right now. I figured I'd do a quick little review of the car while it's still fresh on my mind, and before I start swapping out the parts from the WRX, like the remark exhaust. I don't know, I guess it's just me. A lot of people, they'll buy a car and just automatically start upgrading it if they really enjoy it. But I like driving the car as it came out of the factory, especially if I buy brand new, for the first how many ever miles. Just enough miles for me to get a decent appreciation of what the car has. So that basically means that I don't like to do anything. I mean, I don't even like to get the windows tinted up until I've driven it for at least 500 miles, I would say. Probably a good rule of thumb, I mean, considering how much I drive, about 1,000 miles, in all honesty, which is perfect considering I have to do the 1,000-mile braking period. So I started off the review yesterday with about 150 miles on it, but I don't think I quite captured how excited I was about this car. This is a night and day difference from the WRX. Now, I'm going to start off by saying that nothing has changed from my opinion about the WRX. I still think the WRX is a great car, and you can check out both of the reviews that I did, but the STi is a different car. I almost can't even compare it to the WRX. Everything in the car just feels different. I mean, yeah, of course, the steering wheel and, you know, the interior looks the same, but the throttle response, the transmission, I mean, every single thing you can think of just feels different. The ride quality feels different. This is a different car when you really sit down and think about it. Starting off with the exterior, the car looks beefier. I almost couldn't believe that the dimensions were the same. It looks taller, it looks wider, it looks like a different car from the outside. The 19-inch wheels on it just suit it perfectly. I had 19-inch wheels on the previous WRX, but the tire was a little bit lower profile than this one. The suspension feel of this car is world class. I mean, some people think it's too rough. I think it's perfect for a sports sedan. I honestly wouldn't change a thing about it. I know a lot of people, they swap out and go for coilovers. I don't have the experience with the coilovers, but from what I see right now, it just feels like there's absolutely nothing that needs to be done as far as suspension goes. The calipers, especially the front calipers, are my new favorite thing about the car. Well, that and the wing is a close second. I honestly didn't think I was going to like the wing as much as I do, but that wing just suits the car so perfectly that I don't know how I lived without it, to tell you the honest truth. But as far as the brakes go, I don't know how I'm going to buy another car after this that doesn't have Brembo brakes, 6-piston Brembo brakes on top of that. Moving towards the interior, I mean, just sitting in here, these seats feel amazing. Initially, they felt a little bit firmer than my WRX seats, but now that I've broken them in a little bit, they feel great. They have just enough support where it doesn't roll you around, but it doesn't hug you like a race seat. The throttle response is way different. Where before I felt like the WRX was always a little laggy, there's absolutely zero lag. I mean, I'm cruising in 6th gear right now, 45 miles an hour, and I step on the gas and it goes, even slightly. In the WRX, not so much. I always felt like I had to downshift into 5th to get it to go anywhere at about this speed. But that's understandable. I mean, different transmission, different engine. This is a much sportier transmission than the WRX, so it's, of course, more understandable. The feel is also different. I mean, just driving inside the STi, you feel like you're driving an STi. And in the last couple of days, I've noticed that other people know that you're driving an STi as well, considering how many people have wanted to race me. It's ridiculous. I didn't get that kind of response with my WRX. I mean, it was there, but not as much. I mean, it just feels like every single person that sees you on the road just wants to race you. And now I see why a lot of people get in trouble with these cars. This STi came with the short shifter. And honestly, if you would have asked me before what's the difference, if I would have just driven it for a couple of miles, I would have said, you know, there's really not that big of a difference between the WRX shifter and the STi short shifter. But there is. This short shifter feels great. It's not super short like my Corvette short shifter that I have, this Hurst short shifter, but this one is just short, somewhere in between a super short shifter and a normal shifter, I guess if I could say it. It feels very mechanical, which is always a plus for me. The whole car just feels mechanical. It feels raw. It feels like it was made for you to do some stupid stuff in. One of the main reasons why I bought this car is because of my son. He's been nudging me to get the STi for quite some time now. Every time that we were riding around in the WRX, he would say, when are we getting the STi? When are we getting the STi? So I went and bought the STi. I didn't tell him about it. After all the paperwork was done, I called my wife and I told her to come outside and bring my son outside. So I'm pulling into the driveway, and here we go. Right behind me is a BMW tailgating me. Just calm down, man. I'm still within the break-in period. I would lose you. And actually, you know what? We just may. Let's go ahead and see what he's got. Not bad. He's funny. I didn't think he was actually going to do it, but he did. He tried to keep up. Can't keep up with the STi and the curves. Come on, man. This is what I was talking about. You can't go anywhere without somebody wanting a piece of the STi. Anyways, back to the story. I had my wife bring my son out. As I'm pulling into the driveway, I could see his mouth is just wide open. I mean, he is shocked. I come outside and he goes, "Oh, you bought me an STi?" I said, "Yeah, what do you think?" He said, "Oh, it's amazing. Okay, let's go do burnouts." I was like, calm down, kid. He's 5 years old, wants to do burnouts. I don't know if I should be afraid or happy at this point. A lot of people think the WRX is a better daily driver. I don't know. I know that I'm having a little bit more fun in the STi. I would say if your entire mentality is gas mileage and your city's full of potholes, definitely avoid the STi. Because actually, surprisingly, I'm getting 26.3 miles per gallon on average in this review. But normally, I've been getting about 23, 24 miles per gallon max. Whereas in the WRX, I was consistently getting 30 plus miles per gallon. So in the WRX, I was getting 30 plus miles per gallon, and I kind of miss it, but at the same time, I don't. I mean, you don't buy an STi for the gas mileage. I'll tell you that right now. As far as the ride quality goes, I would say the suspension is very firm, but like I told you guys earlier, I had 19-inch wheels with lower profile tires on my WRX, so the ride quality is really not that important to me. I think I'm going to be enjoying this car for years to come. Right now, if somebody asks me which should I get, WRX or the STi, honestly, get the STi if you can. WRX, you're gonna love it. It's gonna be great. If you actually, let me rephrase. If you have the opportunity, get both. First, get the WRX, really learn to appreciate it, and then go get the STi, and you're gonna love it. With that said, I'm gonna keep you guys updated with some of the modifications that I do. I'll let you know how the car rides after the 1,000-mile break-in period, and I can't wait to be able to actually punch it over there. I mean, I never crossed 2,500 RPM when that BMW was behind me. Right now, I'm gonna go pick up my family, and we're gonna go enjoy the STI some more. See you guys later.